It's time once again for the Kennett Indian softball show as we talk to Kennett Indian head softball coach Logan Dollins. And coach, the season's winding down. The district brackets have been drawn up, and I'll tell you what, it's coming to that point of the season where you keep winning, you keep playing, and one bad game can end your season.
Yeah, the part of the season that I enjoy the most, when it comes to districts, you got to come out and play, and you got to play the game the right way, and you got to execute the little things to give yourself a chance to keep moving on.
Well, you start as the number one seed in the district, so a good thing there. The district will be held at Malden this year, and you take on the 8 seed Dexter Bearcats. So, definitely a big favorite in that ball game. We're looking down at the bottom side of the bracket. You have 2 seed New Madrid, 3 seed Malden down there in the bracket, and then East Prairie, they're the 4th seed up in your side of the bracket, and Zenith Hornersville's right below them. So teams you're familiar with, of course, in the district. And what are you looking for your team as you go into the district tournament?
The things that we really focused in on the past week or so is just being hooked up in the game consistently. We've faced some quality opponents in the past couple of weeks, and that's just one thing that I noticed was just not being hooked up all the time. And then, just quality at bats, situational hitting, understanding that once we hit districts, we're back to 0-0, and your stat line doesn't matter anymore. It's just finding a way to be 1-0 at the end of the day.
I know a lot of your ladies play travel softball, so they are during the summer months they're used to playing at different times of the day, but district play, your first game's at 10 a.m. and it's at Malden. So a little different scenario for your team playing that early in the morning.
Yeah. You got to get up a little earlier than normal and get on a bus and drive 30 minutes and find a way to win a ball game. And, we prepared well the past 2 days, got another day of preparation for tomorrow. And then, the lights come on. So I'm excited to see them play when those lights do come on.
Well, you mentioned some of the good opponents that you played. You had to go on the road and play Graves County, another good ball club, and lost 8-4 in that one. But you talked about testing your team with the opponents that you play. And right before that, you played Valley View, and that's a team you'd faced earlier in the year. And, 7-4 loss to Valley View, but you were maybe a big hit away from turning things around in that ball game. But the good competition, it really sets you up to get through the district and possibly back to that Final Four.
Yeah. Valley View's always been a quality team. Just kind of felt like, again, like a hit or two there gives us a chance to win it. And same thing with Graves County, drive an hour and 45 minutes on a Tuesday to face a girl that's 63, 64 in the circle and spinning it. And, kind of found ourselves down early just on lack of execution defensively, and then cut it to a 4-3 ball game. And then just never could, just make that play or get that hit. And it's kind of what we talked about is in big games, when you got a runner on third and less than 2 outs, you got to find a way to score that run. And that's something we didn't do. I thought the game should have been closer. If we make a play or two and execute offensively, we could have very easily won that ball game. So it was really an eye opener for us to see kind of what we really needed to work on. And that's something that we went to work on the past 2 days of, just focusing in on going to attack a fly ball that's hit over a second baseman's head or shortstop's head. And the girls have embraced it and we've worked on it. So hopefully we can carry that over into the district.
Well, you had a home game that was canceled. You had one against Paragould, and then they decided not to play that ball game. I know they're getting they may be in their regionals and their postseason play now, but it certainly hurts when you have your schedule set up and looking for another home game there against Paragould. But I saw you. We're recording this on Thursday night after your team had practice, and then you had a younger practice as the what's the name of the young travel team that
the Ditch Vipers.
The Ditch Vipers
yes.
were out there, and but your team's out there working hard, and tell you they looked like they were all business today on that practice field.
Yeah, we put together a really good day, and that's kind of been something that's kind of been in a way a Achilles heel for us is the fact that we've played so many ball games. I think I went back and looked, and I think we played 21 games in 28 days, something like that. So, and in those days you had to have a rest period, so we weren't practicing a whole lot. And now that the season kind of has winded down, we're able to really try to go in and fix the things that we've kind of kept tabs on the entire year. And the girls have been, great with energy and still wanting to be out there after such a long season. And I think just kind of, having districts come up on us and come up on us pretty quickly, they're excited as well to see what happens in the next week or so.
Yeah, the district play will start on Saturday. That's that 10 a.m. game when you're up at Malden. And then the semifinals on the 12th and then the 13th. And then you start looking at the softball schedule, and that's when it really gets down to business at that point. Last year you had to go on the road to Park Hills. What does it look like this year if you happen to get out of your district?
So if we get out of our district, we'll be back at home. So I'm not sure, District 2 is solid, but from our standpoint, we would love to win our district and find a way to get that quarterfinal back at home, just to have a great home crowd and hopefully put some pressure on the other team, especially, whenever the city of Kennett shows up and, gets loud and kind of buzzes in other people's ears. It's sometimes tough to beat us at home.
Well, if you're looking for something to do Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, you'll be taking on Dexter up at Malden. And I know the girls would appreciate a big crowd up there to cheer them on in that ball game.
Yeah, definitely. They've worked hard. Like I said, when it comes to the district, sometimes the best team doesn't always win. It's who plays the best that day. So we've got to be able to come out and perform and not try to make the moments too big, because at the end of the day, this is softball and it's a game. It's supposed to be fun, and sometimes we press too much and make it bigger than what it is. It's a yellow ball coming at you, and you take a swing at it, and sometimes you get out, and sometimes it flies over the fence. So just understanding that districts does put pressure on you, especially when you're the number one seed. But at the end of the day, it's a game, and we want to make sure that we're having a great time doing it.
I think you made a good point there, but the having fun is a big part of it. And you can be in a pressure situation, but you need to be out there having fun and relaxed. And seems like things go your way a little better instead of when you're really pressing and trying to do good. Sometimes it turns into bad things. Yeah,
definitely. And, just staying loose is the key. And, for us, it's really kind of getting going early. It doesn't matter who we play. If we can kind of jump on somebody early and be able to relax a little bit, we tend to play a little bit better. But I feel like we've prepared for this district tournament as best as we possibly can with the schedule we put together. We've been in some pressure games, haven't always won every single one of them, but we've learned something from all of them. And I feel like we're prepared moving forward. And from the coaching standpoint, that's all I'm looking to really accomplish before coming in. Are we prepared? And do we have the confidence to go in and win the district? So I have full confidence in this team. I have full confidence in our pitching staff, our lineup. I think we have one of the best lineups in the state. And now we just have to go out and perform.
All right, Coach. Well, let's get it started on Saturday, 10 o'clock against Dexter. The Bearcats, Lady Bearcats, will be your opponent on Saturday morning. Coach Logan Dollins, thanks. We appreciate it. And we're going to talk next week, hopefully after that district championship.
Sounds good.
All right, Coach Logan Dollins, and this has been the Kennett Indians Softball Show.